Before we get started, guys, if you're right into your squid fishing, comment down below before this video kicks off. What's your favorite way of catching a squid? And most importantly, for all the viewers, what's your favorite squid jig? That's right, I want to know what your favorite squid jig is. Mine at the moment is definitely this Haramitsu in either the green, or hold on, let me pull out another one they called Sheepdog, which is this one here. And it's absolutely been brilliant. But as I said, guys, let us know. How's your squidding going? And what's your favorite jig in the comments below before we get this video cranking? All right, let's get into it. G'day, how you going? My name's Brendan and welcome back to On Point Adventures. The purpose of today's video is to show you how to catch more squid. That's right, more squid. Now, what if I was to tell you that potentially you were doing part of your squidding all wrong and there was a better way to do it? Well, a lot of you are going to disagree, or a lot of you are probably already doing just that. But I want to run this scenario past you. How many times have you hooked a squid on the boat or on the jetty, you've been bringing it in, and then it's been followed up by a pack of others, only to get it so close to the boat or the jetty that the others back off completely because they get spooked? You couldn't work out why, and you want to catch them as well. Alternatively, how many times you've been squidding and you just keep snagging your jigs and you really just want to sit back, relax, let those jigs do their own thing, but not lose $20 jigs like they're going out of fashion? Well, this video is going to show you how to solve both of those issues, and that is with a simple squid jig float rig. Now, what are you going to need for this rig? Let me show you. First off, you're going to pick your favorite squid jig. In my case, how can you go past Haramitsu? And in particular, this color here lately on the West Australian coast has been absolute dynamite. The lime green with the white belly absolutely goes off. The squid are loving it. Either in the 3.0 size or the 2.5, you're going to get them. So let's get our squid jig. Next off, we're going to need these here, which is the Harbour Revenge snaps, or any small snap. Now, the reason we're going to use a snap is so we can change our jigs on and off as quick as we need if this particular colour isn't working. Now, keep in mind, guys, we're going to also show you why this particular rig works and how it works as well, so stay with us. You're also going to need one of these. Now, this is going to be hard to see. A really tiny little crane swivel, as small as you can, and that'll be explained. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Vexed rattling drone bait float. Now, it's very important you get the rattling float. I'll explain why in a second. And last but not least, leader. I actually like to go a bit heavier on this. So, I mean, 20, 10 or 15 is good. We're going to be using, in the case of this rig, the 15. Now, rods and reels on this aren't too important. I mean, personally, a 2500 size reel on, lately I've been using the Vexed micro meat rod, has been an absolute perfect combo for this. So let's get building. We're going to need scissors. Don't forget your scissors. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get our leader. Now, what I like with my leader is roughly an arm's length, or let's call it 180 to 200 centimeters of line, so 1.8 to 2 meters of line. That'll be about perfect for you. So let's cut that off there. Sorry about that. Thought we had someone pull up in the driveway. Had to go investigate that one. So we've got our 2 meters of line, or 1.8 meters. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that tiny little crane swivel, and I'm just going to tie him on top there, okay? So the little crane is going to go onto the top of the rig and then onto the main line. And the best thing about this, guys, have these little rigs pre-tied in a snap lock bag, so when you go squidding, you can just pull them out. You don't have to have the jig on them, because as I said, we've got that tiny little Revenge snap on there, which means we can swap jigs in and out. Now that we've got our little swivel on, we're going to pull out our rattling float from Vexed, okay? Now listen to this. Now I'm doing it against my chest because that's where the speaker is. But you should be able to hear Gee, that looks a bit awkward, doesn't it? Sorry, kids. You should be able to hear that rattling float going off in there. Now, the reason we're using that rattling float will be explained shortly. You want the rattle of the float to be facing down towards the jig, okay? And as you can probably hopefully see in there, you can see the rattle next to the tube. So we're gonna make sure that the rattle, as I said, faces down towards the jig. So it's gonna help if I put it on the right way. Thread that through the center. The good thing with these floats is they've got a beautiful bit of tube running through it. And there we go. So we've got crane swivel, rattling float. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna get one of these little revenge snaps out. Now these snaps are so damn good. Guys, like I've used a lot of snap clips in my time, and the revenges have been wicked. Really good, really strong. I mean, I'm using the number 1, which is rated to 54 pound. A lot of guys would use it on their, almost on their brim lures. I've been using it on my tailor lures. We've got some massive tailor, and they haven't even thought about twisting or straightening. These snaps are the real deal. Like, they're bloody good. So on your harbour for bringing those out, that's for sure. All right, so just a 3-turn uni. On we go there. Pull that down. Okay, and rig is practically complete. Then what we do, we just get the snap. We put the eye straight over that little arm there. Okay, I'll do it just a bit closer so I can see as well. Twist him around, and there we go. So you can see we've got the little revenge snap on the front there, and we got our rig. Now, I said we'd explain why this rig is good. Let's go. So what we've got a float that slides the whole way up and down that rig, okay? So it'll slide all the way down to the nose of that squid jig, okay? But the reason we put the crane on the other end is so it can't travel further up your line. It stops there. 1.8 meters, right? What that means is your jig is not going to go deeper than that 1.8 meters. Now, a lot of people argue that your jigs need to be in the weed or very close to make them work. This is where I disagree. Fishing beautifully bright jigs, squid will come out of the weed, no worries, and out of their corners for it a lot, anytime. Mix that with the rattle in this float, okay? And you've now got something that the squid can hear clicking, okay? Click, 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 click. Now, these are designed to imitate prawns and all that stuff. So when the prawns are flicking their tail, what happens? They click. There's the click in the float. That's why I said we have to use the Vexed or any float with a little click in it. I've just found these ones here the best. By enabling it to have that 1.8 meters means that that jig isn't going down any deeper. So long as you are fishing deeper than 1.8 meters in particular with this rig, then you're fine because that jig stays above the weed. If you're fishing in 1 meter or 1.5 meters, just shorten your rig. It's that simple. But what about the original scenario I gave you where I said, have the squid ever backed off really quick? Well, the good thing about this is you can free spool this right out the back of the boat by 4 or 5 meters to where the squid are coming and then backing off, and they will hit this jig every time. When those squid are following that jig up, when their mate is hooked, they're in pack hunt mode and they want to eat. So they will grab this jig if you bring it past them. I promise you, every time. The great thing with the white float as well is it'll lay dead flat on the surface usually, but once the squid is gone, it'll stand up and then go under. So it's almost like a strike indicator as well. It works very, very good. The amount of squid I catch on this particular rig, opposed to just free swimming squid jigs or ripping them, is easily 1 for 1. If not, this rig here lately has had more success than anything else I've been using, which has surprised me because even in up to 5 meters of water, this rig here has been bringing home the bacon. Now, I'm not quite sure whether it's just because the jig's had a beautiful, beautiful slow lift and it's only lifting with the float as the waves go up and down and that rooster is going crazy, or whether or not it's because potentially the jig looks a lot more vulnerable in that open water and the squid are quite happy to quickly shoot out, grab it, and try and take it back down into the weed where they live. The other good thing by using a larger float like this is the fact that it also does help hook the squid. So as that squid lunges down, and this float here, obviously with its buoyancy, wants to pull back up naturally, it does help hook the squid. And I will quickly go over to the reason why I've been using that bottom meat rod is because it is a tiny bit stiffer, and that also assists with the hookup. Now let's go to the final scenario, which is the jetty. You can cast this out. A lot of jetties are only in that 1.5, 2 meters of water off the tip. So you can cast this rig right out. You can let the current bring it back beautifully along the jetty with the current. And as it's drifting, doing its own self-drift along, it'll pick up squid every single time. Guys, this is an absolute dynamo rig. It works so super well and catches so many squid. And I mean, even if you just had a couple of these tied up in your tackle box in those Glad bags or however you like to store your rigs, I can guarantee you're gonna start pulling it out more often than not. Now, if you guys already knew this tip, certainly comment below because I'd love to hear your experience with a rig like this and how successful has it been for you. All right, guys, thanks for joining us again on another episode of On Point Adventures, and we'll see you on to the next one. Catch you later.